What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to give my predictions for game week 30 in the Premier League. Starting off with a lunchtime kickoff between Newcastle United and West Ham United. I've gone with a 3-1 win for Newcastle. Game at the London Stadium between these sides was full of controversy. Bruno Guimaraes could have been sent off, one of Isak's goal potentially could have been disallowed as well. West Ham just haven't been great lately to watch. You know, they're getting decent results, but if Paqueta has a bad game, West Ham are in the bin, because no one else in that team can create any chances. They have been linked with Dybala, interestingly enough, which would be a really good signing from him. And I would have to put him in my FPL team if he was to come to the Premier League. But Newcastle are in a very, very serious injury crisis yet again. They've got so many players out. Luckily, it looks like Isak and Gordon should be fit. And overall this season, they've had a very good record at St James's Park. In 2024, it hasn't been anywhere near as strong as it was last year. Gordon and Isak, especially at home, are incredible, especially Gordon. There's only one game this season where he hasn't registered a goal contribution at St James's Park. If Newcastle don't win this, I think they will struggle to be in Europe next season. West Ham could take a real big step towards Europa League qualification through the league with a win here. And they have got Leverkusen in the Europa League, which is a very tough game. I just trust Eddie Howe a lot. You know, last season at St James's Park they drew 1-1. When Declan Rice put in a really good performance and nullified the Newcastle midfield. He isn't there this season. Bournemouth against Everton, for some reason I've gone with the 2-2 draw. Now I say that because Everton just don't score many goals. And I don't know why I think that's going to change. I just have a feeling this is going to be a draw, maybe a 2-1 Bournemouth win. Yeah, Bournemouth don't really have anything to play for. Everton have a lot to play for. There's still rumours that there's going to be another points deduction handed to them. And they aren't really safe yet, which, I mean, given their performance this season, they should be more than safe because they've played really well this season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin can't score goals, so yeah, and neither can Beto. And when your two strikers can't score, you're always going to find it difficult to get good results. With that being said, Bournemouth are kind of open defensively. There's a lot of moments where they give the ball away and that they are open. They do concede a fair amount of goals, but they do score a fair amount as well. Dominic Solanke's been in fine form this season. I'm expecting a fairly good game. Chelsea against Burnley, I've gone with a 3-1 Chelsea win. Even though they are terrible, Burnley at home is just a really easy game. It's probably the easiest game of the season. And if they don't win, they should be extremely worried. Chelsea desperately need a win to stay in the hunt for European football for next season. Burnley need a win to have any chance of surviving. And they did win their last game. They're actually unbeaten in 2 right now. And both of those are against London clubs as well, so you never know. Nottingham Forest against Crystal Palace. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Forest. I think that they need to win given the fact that they've just been handed a points deduction and they are now in the bottom 3. Palace aren't exactly safe, but they are not in as much danger as Forest are. With the game being at the City ground, it's a perfect environment for Forest to get a win here. You know, hopefully the players are all fired up and willing to give everything to keep them in the Premier League. The fans are always fantastic in Nottingham. Although Palace have actually looked pretty decent lately, you know, the likes of RU and Mateta have been playing very well, and with Eze back, they do have a big threat now up there, but I just think that it's too big of a game for Forest not to win. Does that make sense? For Forest to not win is what I meant. Sheffield United against Fulham, I've gone with the 2-2 draw. Fulham's record away from home this season has been really poor. And yeah, I know Sheffield United's home record has been horrendous as well, the amount of goals they've conceded. But they need to win, or they need to get at least a point here. They're not going to get many easy games in this. Fulham don't really have anything to play for. There's a very outside shot of Europe for them, but they would have to rely on everyone above them slipping up horrendously for the rest of the season. And I don't think that's too realistic. Sheffield United are in a similar situation to Burnley where they sort of need to be winning these games. I don't think they will, just because I think Fulham are actually very good. You know, Muniz is in incredible form. Palhinha is a really good player. Even Iwobi and Pereira are very decent attacking players. Robinson's been very good lately as well. It's going to be tough for Sheffield United to get a win. But they are the team that have something to play for. And at this stage of the season, you know, we're getting down to the business end of things. That is actually a very big factor in a lot of these games. Sheffield United have to be given 120% every single match now. Whereas Fulham don't really need to do that, and because they don't need to do that, it's just natural that they won't. Tottenham Hotspur against Luton, I've gone with a 5-2 Tottenham win. I think it's going to be very high scoring. Luton are quite open at the back, but they do have a big goal threat as well from set pieces, especially. You know, they're very, very good. Morris has been in good form this season. Doughty's been in good form this season as well. But yeah, at the back they are prone to a mistake. Tottenham have scored a lot of goals this season. Although their streak of scoring in I think it was 39 games, came to an end after their defeat at Craven Cottage. I don't think that's going to stop them from scoring here. You know, they've got to restart that record and go for it again. And when you've got players like Heung-min Son, James Maddison, you know, even Timo Werner, who I think has been very good at Tottenham so far this season. Brennan Johnson, I think, has been criminally underrated. Kulusevski, Sarr, like they've got so many good players. Doggy, Porro as well. Like, there's no excuse for them not to win here and not to win comfortably. If they don't win here, top 4 is probably going to be trickling away from them, but 5th could be enough anyway, so it might not matter too much. And speaking of the top 4 race, Aston Villa against Wolves next up, I'm going with a 2-1 Villa win. Now, Wolves actually have a very good record against Aston Villa, but with the amount of injuries they've got, I just don't see how they win this. However, it is a local derby and you never know what can happen in these sort of games, given their record as well. Villa have just been incredible this season. Watkins has been amazing. Douglas Luiz has been very good. Bailey's been very good. Like, realistically, they should be winning. Wolves, like Fulham, like Bournemouth, don't really have anything to play for. Once again, there's a very outside shot of Europe, but it would take a miracle for them to get in there. Villa are fighting for the Champions League and they're at home. They should be winning this without any real issues. Brentford against Manchester United. I've gone with a 3-1 win for the Red Devils. Brentford have been terrible. They've lost like 14 out of their last 18 Premier League games. They will be welcoming back Mbeumo, potentially to the 11 for the first time. He did appear in that defeat to Burnley. Pinnock could also be back. But Manchester United showed so much class in their win over Liverpool in the FA Cup, where they finally were able to field a strong team. The likes of Mason Mount were back, Rasmus Højlund as well. Anthony scored, Bruno Fernandes played at centre-back and put in a decent shift towards the end of the game. They played very well in that game. Mainoo went to England duty and got some very valuable minutes. If they are serious about getting a Champions League spot next season, they need to be winning this sort of game against a really out-of-form Brentford team. They did get battered here last season, 4-0. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hopefully we'll see Højlund carrying on his great goal-scoring form this year as well. It was really harsh to see him get injured, given the form he was in as well, man. He was really starting to find his groove. Hopefully he can pick up from where he left off. Now we get down to the very top of the table. All 3 teams in the title race playing on Sunday. We start off with Liverpool against Brighton and Hove Albion. I've gone with a 4-1 Liverpool win. This shouldn't really be a game which is too close. Brighton are pretty bad away from home and they're just too open. Lewis Dunk was horrible for England, you know, got bullied by Lukaku yet again. Liverpool being relentless at home this season. They've scored so many goals, they're unbeaten. I don't think Brighton are really going to pose too much of a threat. This isn't a game that Liverpool can afford to throw away. But next up, the big one, the potential title decider between Manchester City and Arsenal. Now, I'm going to speak a bit in depth about this because there's so many factors that we need to consider here. So first of all, a lot of the Manchester City players that were reportedly injured have been training. That includes Ederson, that includes Kevin De Bruyne, Manuel Kanji, even Jack Grealish and Mateus Nunes are among that group. However, John Stones and Kyle Walker have not yet trained. That could be big. I'm recording this on Thursday, so there's still Friday and Saturday. They could be in the team. Walker's absence won't be as significant if Martinelli is also out for Arsenal, because obviously Trossard isn't anywhere near as reliant on his pace. And that means that someone a bit slower like Kanji can just fill in there and it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Although Walker is incredible, and if Martinelli is playing, Walker does probably need to play to try and contain him. However, I don't know what's going on with Martinelli. Some people are saying he's out for the rest of the season, some people are saying he's going to be fit. I don't really know what's going on. I'm going to work with the assumption that he's not going to be fit, just because, I mean, he hasn't been playing the last few games and Arsenal have been okay. Big news for Arsenal is that Partey's back, Tomiyasu's back, and Timber's back. Like, these are big players. Jesus back as well, you know, against his old team. But the thing is here, Manchester City have De Bruyne back. They've got Rodri available for this one. He wasn't available for the one at the Emirates. I honestly can't call this. Is so tight. Manchester City haven't lost at home all season, you know, but Arsenal broke the curse earlier in the season by beating Man City. There's not going to be a better chance for a team to beat Man City at the Etihad. Manchester City haven't been playing great lately, and if there was a team to win at the Etihad, one of the few you'd back is probably Arsenal, because they are, in my opinion, at least the second best team in the league. Declan Rice has been absolutely incredible. Bukayo Saka has been incredible. Saliba's available for this one, and we saw how he bullied Haaland in the last game. It's controversial because last year I predicted Arsenal to win at the Etihad and it blew up in my face. They were absolutely demolished. I'm backing Arsenal to win. I'm going 2-1 to the Gunners. Yeah, I think this is just a big coming of age game. I also think that Arsenal are more at risk of going out in the Champions League than Man City. I think City should be able to destroy Real Madrid, if I'm going to be honest. They're not very good, and City did it last year, so they can easily do it this year. I don't know, I feel like Arsenal will be keen to avenge last season, whereas Man City have done everything, I don't know if there's as much hunger in that camp, and that's just natural because of the fact that they've just won the treble. It's hard to keep that going consistently. Had to have that fire in your belly, and I know they're top professionals. They're a fantastic team, a fantastic club. I just think that Arsenal have a bit more hunger this season to go out and correct what went wrong last season. I think Arsenal are in much better form. They're playing much better football, but at the same time, the international break probably came at the worst possible time for Arsenal because, you can lose a bit of momentum. If you're out of form and the international break comes, it's great news for you because you can have a little reset. If you're in great form when it comes, it's awful because you might lose the momentum. Hopefully Arsenal haven't lost that momentum. I'm also working with the assumptions that Saka is fit. If he isn't fit, Arsenal will not win. I could absolutely see Man City winning 2-1. I could see it being a draw. I'm just hoping for a very entertaining game. And I actually do think we'll get one. Last time out, I didn't think it was going to be that good. I said there might be less than 15 shots in total in the game. And I think there was about 16. So I almost banged that, I think this one will be a much more entertaining game. Hopefully it is. As the neutral, I'm very much looking forward to it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm interested in your thoughts. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for another video.